This nondescript building in Johannesburg is the hub for a new way of doing business. It's called a hub and promotes the idea of doing business with the conscious. Social entrepreneurship is all about balancing social and financial value. Judging from the turnout at this flagship event, it's an idea that has got people talking. It offers office facilities to entrepreneurs for a fraction of the typical cost of setting up office. A real attraction to the aspirant captain of industry. The practical solution is an obvious drawcard for those that pay to use the space. But organizers here encourage clients to run people-centered and sustainable businesses. No polluting, destructive and greedy corporates here.
A lot of people are becoming discontent and dissatisfied with the current way of doing business.
Greg Massacre is the head of entrepreneur development at the Hub. A neuropsychologist by training, he believes this idea is more than just a fashionable trend.
People are coming to us every day. We're finding people who used to be in corporate, but who want to rethink their lives, who want to live and work in an entrepreneurial way along business dynamics, but they want to do so in line with social good, not against society. So, no, I don't think it's a hard sell. And it's catching on worldwide.
But would such a concept enjoy the same traction in business circles here in South Africa? And is it yet another idea from distant lands that might just work in Africa?
The Hub first opened in 2005 in London, but the initial thinking comes from the founders having lived and worked in South Africa in 2002 during the World Summit for Sustainability. And they then realized that collaboration comes from a community-driven approach. And that's a very South African thing. We speak about Ubuntu all the time. In fact, we overuse it. But it's really become our method and our way of working and operating within the Hub global system. So the initial founders moved back to England, found an old warehouse and invited all their friends who had the ideals of changing the world. So invited them into one space and used the same principles they learned in South Africa to then create a community of change makers.
A case of perhaps reclaiming a South African-inspired business model.
I lived in London from 2006 to 2008. Got quite involved with the Hub initially as a Hub member and then eventually as part of the team. And I just started seeing Hubs pop up all over the world in quite an organic way. So it was either an entrepreneur like myself experiencing the Hub and then taking it back to our own country, or having an issue in our own society we'd like to work on and approaching the Hub and saying, look, where and how can your approach support what I'm doing already? So it's quite a community-driven ethos. And that's the theme of all hubs around the world, that it's not a top-down approach. It's not people sitting in London. It's driven by the local community.
Is an alternative to the office cubicle and freedom from the corporate rat race the only reasons for wanting to go into business? The budding entrepreneur is still faced with some very real and often expensive challenges.
The Hub's a great resource for people who have a great idea. Young entrepreneurs who have a good concept but don't yet have the support behind it. Maybe you're in the proposal writing stage, seeking funding, just starting up. So the Hub is a place where you can both get that work done with the office supported environment, working space, internet printing facilities, but also work in an environment where you're not alone, you're supported. There's other entrepreneurs who might also be involved in startup ventures who you can bounce your ideas off and feel as if you're working in a collegial environment. Those people might not genuinely be your colleagues or be involved in the same things you are, but you're in an environment where you can get the support and the answers to the questions you need and start networking with the kind of people you'll be doing business with in the future.
This room is full of people with their focus firmly on the future. Today they come to hear how sustainability and business shouldn't be mutually exclusive.
The theme for the fellowship program is the green economy. So someone who has a business or an idea based on a business model for making a positive social and environmental impact. But the key here is both the positive impact and the business sustainability.
For some, talk could just be cheap. Anybody hoping for success in business will need practical knowledge.
One opportunity that Hub Johannesburg creates is that it supports the guy at ideas phase already, or only at ideas phase. And we'll support them right through the process. So various ways we do that is, number one, just providing a place to work from. So instead of sitting at a coffee shop, you could come to an professional office space and have the resources of a usual office, you know, from your Wi-Fi to your telephone systems, which is really important, to your meeting rooms, to having colleagues. You know, it's quite a lonely journey being an entrepreneur, so it's wonderful having that encouragement from the guy at the next table. We have quite a bit of content, so we're always listening to what are the needs of our members, and we design processes and workshops based on their needs.
If these people achieve the level of success of some of today's captains of industry, business may yet salvage its somewhat damaged reputation in communities around the world.